Hello, parents. Welcome to the 2022-23 school year. I'm very, very excited to get to know your student on a day-to-day basis. We're going to learn so much about each other um, in the physical education classroom. Students will be held to a very, very high standard of personal responsibility, social responsibility, and showing respect in our classroom. Students will also be competent and confident in very many skills and activities. First, I would like to start off with my mission statement. And what do we teach in high school PE? My mission is to hold physically literate individuals who are competent and confident in a wide range of activities. Students will feel prepared and confident to be a physically active lifestyle outside of my classroom. With this, I just want students to be able to do whatever they like within physical activity outside of my classroom. So that means I want kids to be able to do what they enjoy with physical activity. That could be from lifting weights to playing basketball with their friends to playing tennis with their roommate in college. Whatever it ends up being, I want students to be prepared and confident to be able to live that physically active lifestyle in their future. And now you're probably asking, what does a physically literate individual mean? Um, I tried to break this down as easy as possible. The three learning domains is kind of the way I would express a physically literate individual. The psychomotor is the ability to perform movement patterns and motor skills. Um, a student will be able to participate in a wide range of activities. So basically, the psychomotor part of the student is being able to do a wide range of activities. Like that's the physical part of the student, what they're doing and how they're doing it. The cognitive domain, that's kind of like the expression or the not the expression, the essential qualities of a skill. So being able to step with opposite foot while they throw, be able to know the cues to serve a tennis or in pickleball or in volleyball. Just being able to understand what specific cues it takes to accomplish that task. Um, and then I think most importantly, the affective domain. This is the enjoyment that the kids have. This is the respect that the kids have with their other classmates, teachers, administrators, being able to have self control and respect of others and equipment, and also being motivated every day to come into PE. I feel like all three of those domains hit the whole child, and these domains make a physically literate individual inside my room and outside my classroom. Um, Lastly, the last point I want to make is I will teach by the standards in terms of our school district, state, and national levels. This fits with our physically literate individual because I'm trying to make the whole child. I'm trying to develop the whole child. Um, so that means psychomotor, cognitive, affective, and I will do those domains by the standards that the school district, the state, and the national standards hold me to teach your child. So now I want to kind of get into the each standard. So standard one is defined as a physically literate individual demonstrates competency in a wide or in a variety of motor skills and movement patterns. In high school, they should have competency in two or more lifetime activities. So that could be tennis and golf. One form of dance that could be any dance that you could think of, and then one specialized health fitness activity. So there's many examples of that with health related fitness activities. Now, standard two, the physically literate individual applies knowledge, concepts, principles, strategies, and tactics related to and movement performance. Um, the way I looked at this one was improving your skills. So a student would maybe maybe in their future get better at improving their serve in tennis or improving their free throw shot in basketball. There are many different ways that you could go about this, but that's kind of the way I look at standard two, is how they can translate that into their lives and improve on skills that they're working on to become physically literate. Standard three, the physically literate individual demonstrates the knowledge and skills to achieve and maintain a healthy, enhancing level of physical activity and fitness. Um, um, an example of this would be like a student setting a goal to achieve a certain level of fitness. I think that, especially when kids get into college, they goal lift more because they have more time on their hands. So a goal, like setting a goal for themselves to achieve a certain level of fitness, and that's not just for lifting weights. That could be for anything that they're doing, anything that they're doing to be physically active. Standard four, the physically literate individual exhibits responsible, personal, and social behavior that respects self and others. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the affective domain, what I talked about earlier. Um, being responsible for themselves, rules and etiquette, working with others, and safety with their classrooms and our classmates and equipment. These ones are the most important ones to me because I feel like in my classroom, being able to be responsible for yourself. So that means getting yourself prepared for class, getting yourself dressed for class, like kind of like those things, being responsible for yourself. Rules and etiquette, being able to play by the rules, so everyone has an equal opportunity of playing, and participating in the activity. Working with others kind of self-explanatory, but working with others to achieve something in an activity or a skill. Like there will be a lot of problem solving activities that we do like that just gets students to work with others. And then also lastly, safety with their classmates and equipment. During whenever we're in the classroom, I want students to be able to be safe, with their classmates, with me, and also with the equipment. Like that's a huge thing, to be able to do that. Standard five, the physically literate individual recognizes the value of physical activity for health, enjoyment, challenge, self-expression, and/or social interaction. Um, Students will basically, in this standard, analyze the health benefits and be able to challenge themselves, to achieve that, to achieve physically, to become a physically literate individual. And also, lastly, students need to be able to have enjoyment with it. They need to be able to enjoy physical activity, and have positive social interactions with their peers. Because in college or when you get out of high school, it becomes very, very important to work with people that are physically active and have that physically active lifestyle. Um, Being around those people can be very, very positive and very beneficial to our students. So now we're going to kind of go into the why, of physical activity. Um, these are the ones that I've kind of hit home on. High school students have unequal access to activity outside the PE classroom during the school day, or outside the school day. Many of our students have jobs or other things on their mind that they kind of get away from what physical activity they do during or outside the school day. And it kind of gets thrown, like when I say it kind of gets thrown to the back burner. Um, that neat like that's why it's so valuable for kids to have PE as much as they can. Creating a curriculum that helps students grow on their physically literate journey is one of my most important jobs as a teacher. That is one of the most important things, is being able to create activities and lessons and units that makes them grow on their journey as becoming physically literate, and hopefully that translates to what they do outside of high school. Some high school students struggle with emotional or mental health inside or outside the classroom. This is one of the things that helped me, in my life, was getting outside and playing, and um, that just has really helped me with my mental health. Like it helps relieve stress, helps my sleeping habits, helps reduce anxiety and depression. Those are things that just that a lot of high schoolers go through. And physical activity is very, very important for them to be able to get there and be able to improve their mental health and their emotional health. That is very, very important. So here are some statistics that I found on physical activity within high school students. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. It stems from kids not getting enough exercise and diet in their life. I know we haven't really talked about the diet, and that's kind of more of a health perspective, but exercise for sure is PE, like being able to get outside and get the right amount of minutes outside and minutes of physical activity. That is very, very important. And then I found this stat in 2017, 26.1% of high school students participate in at least 60 minutes of physical activity a day. That is not a very, very high number. Our goal is to hopefully improve that number and get that number up so students are physically active at least 60 minutes a day. That's recommended by people that are a lot smarter than me, and that's what they say is 60 minutes a day will improve all aspects of your life. Finally, the last statistics I have on here was 29.9%. So basically 30% of high school students attend PE class daily. 30%. 30%. And I totally understand that becomes like a school by school thing, but also students probably are not attending class, and it's very, very important for students to be able to go to PE class. It will help it'll help our classroom, but it also will help what they do outside of what our PE classroom is, and how it actually improves them in their lives on their physically literate journey. So now you're probably thinking like how or like what am I like how am I going to teach it? So here are like some practices that I will establish during my room, and so students are in the best position to learn. So I'm just going to set clear objectives, goals for student learning and performance that will be communicated to you, the parents. It's very important for parents to have an understanding of where the students learning is in a PE. I will hopefully do that on a week to week basis. Kind of get caught up on what PE, what things are we doing, what skills are we learning, what activities are we doing, on a week to week basis. I'm going to figure out a way to do that. The second point here is I create a classroom where students feel safe, physically, socially, and emotionally supported, and unafraid to make mistakes. This one is very, very important to me. Students aren't going to learn unless they're safe, unless they feel that they can make a mistake, right? And that's feeling safe with their classmates, with me, with paras that we have in our room. Like everyone needs to be able to feel that mistakes can be made and that we can learn from that. And also being able to be like kind of like what I said about being physically safe, like putting students in the best position that they don't get hurt, and also emotionally, just being able to feel that emotion, being able to feel positive emotion when you're in my PE classroom. And then I will also plan some teacher parent events after school, where students can show skills. That probably won't be a big thing. I might actually change that up and actually do like videos that kids send home of what they're doing and what they're doing with their classmates, and maybe do like some group activities, so you the parents can see like what is actually being taught in our classes. My fourth best practice that I'm honing in on is formative and summative assessments will be used for all units during the year. Students will be assessed during a unit, after a unit. It won't just be assessed in one way either. It'll be assessed in a cognitive, which is like the mental side of things, the physical, the psychomotor, and the affective, which is like your responsibility. We kind of talked about that earlier with the physically literate individual. So they will be assessed on those three domains. Um, Hopefully that hits every single student to where they feel comfortable with that assessment. Um, and to where I'm not just hitting like just psychomotor or just cognitive. Like if a student struggles with a skill, that they can show me in a cognitive way of what the skill is and how to accomplish it. And then affective, like being able to show me personal responsibility and enjoyment through PE. Lastly, I hope to create a culture, a positive culture of physical activity. I hope to get teachers involved, administration involved, um, everyone involved in having a having a physical or a culture of physical activity. Um, it will be like during the entire school day. I hope that physical activity is kind of hit during the whole day. That's very, very important to me. That it just doesn't happen inside my room; it happens also outside of my room. Um, that's kind of where we end. I hope to have a great school year, and I hope that I can be a positive impact on your child's success out inside the room and outside the room. And I hope that I can build foundations and relationships with your students, that or with your kids that are in a positive way. And yeah, it's going to be a great school year, and I'm super excited to get it started.